Hey, welcome. So today I'll give a look into my true EDC, also known as everyday carry, basically what I carry with me on a daily basis. Because this is a street photography channel and the items that I'll be talking about is related to that, but in a broader sense. Alright, let's take a look. The first item I'll be talking about is my Fuji X100V, and this is my main camera. I have a Sony a7C as well that I'm recording this video on. This has been my main camera for street photography. I have a little bit of hate-love relationship with it, and I promised going into 2024 that I will use this camera more and more, because that is the one reason that I bought it, that I wanted to document my life a bit more and also have a true EDC because I felt I had that gap in my photography. So I promised myself end of the year that I'll try to go out with this camera every single day, and no matter what I did. So basically, if I go out to do some grocery shopping, I will have it on me. I've been doing that for quite a while now, and I have a video that will be coming up soon. I have small tweaks to this camera going into 2024. First of all, I changed the release shutter button here, so it's red now. It was the same color as the thumb grip, but I unfortunately lost it. So now it's the red one. To be honest, they are not super stable, so I'm a little bit afraid of losing them. The other change I made is that I added a small filter to the lens here, and the number one reason for doing that is because I wanted to weather seal my camera, and this is how we do it. You add a filter in front of the lens. And looking at the season that we are in right now with snow and rain, so I thought it was the time now to weather seal it. The filter that I bought is the same one that I have in a bigger version that I use for my videos, is the Nisi Black Mist filter. I looked at different options and I went with what I know best because this filter is so great. So I just bought it in a smaller thread size, which is 49 for this camera. I looked at different options. I looked at Cinebloom, I looked at Tiffin, and I ended up buying the Black Mist filter because I've had good experience using this filter before. So it was quite easy a decision for me to make. So the first gear related purchase is already done in 2024. Alright, up next is a very interesting item that I recently added as my everyday carry. I'm talking about this beautiful small pocket size Moleskine notebook, and I've had it for a month now, and I always had a notebook for my street photography, and the purpose of that notebook is to capture any ideas related to this photography channel. I recently expanded on that and I wanted to journal a bit more for just life in general. And I added this small notebook. Of course, I had to pair it with a beautiful pen as well. So this is the Parker Jotter. It's the plain aluminum one. It's so sleek, it's so beautiful. For the most part, I carry it with me and I note down my thoughts and ideas that I have on different topics. And the other reason is that I want to be less dependent on this thing. And for the longest time and for many years, I just used my phone as many others to take my notes on my phone. I'm very fond of Google Calendar and Google Tasks, and for most part they do a good job, and especially the time-sensitive tasks I can put in my calendar or in Google Tasks. But the other notes, I'm trying to log in my notebook, so I'm trying out a hybrid model at the moment, and let's see if I can fully implement my notebook going forward. But for now, I'm really liking my hybrid model and being a little bit less dependent on technology altogether. Alright, so this next item I use every day. So I'm talking about this Apple Watch. This is the Series 6, so it's a couple of years old now. And the reason why I bought it back then was that I wanted to go to the gym a bit more. Yeah, but I can't say that I'm doing that more. So I use this watch now mostly for my photo walk. So when I'm going out, I log my steps, and it's also a great way to keep a track of my time. So sometimes I have a timer on. I don't want to spend more than an hour on photo walks. So this is a good way to also challenge myself. I can of course do that on my phone, but using the watch is just a bit easier. And sometimes I have two watches on, and people think I'm weird for doing that, but I also have a love for mechanical watches. So I have this watch that I bought recently. I've been collecting watches for a long time, actually since I was very young. So I have all kinds of different watches. I think they're in storage right now. But when I was growing up, I had more than 20 watches. But now and also in the recent years, I got a taste of the more finer items. So I have a little bit of collection of mechanical watches. And yes, I know it's weird to have two watches on, but I think of this as a tracker. All right, up next is my favorite item to carry, and I always carry it with me. So I'm talking about my AirPods Pro. So this is the latest version. So this is the noise canceling. And I've been carrying AirPods for the longest time, especially when I'm going out on photo walks, that I like to block out traffic and noise and just kind of get in the zone and being a bit more zen about what I'm looking for. And this is really ideal for that. And also, in a grander scheme of things, I started journaling, as I mentioned before, which also means that I stop using the AirPods as much as I do. I had a very interesting conversation with a friend of mine, and we were talking about not to stay distracted. And I mentioned that I often wear my AirPods more than 3 hours at a time on a daily basis. And he just laughed in my face, and I didn't understand his reaction back then. And I thought he was being weird and laughing at me. The reason why I stopped using the AirPods so much is that I really like being in the zone by being completely present with my thoughts. And I also realized when I do that, I get more creative. So I'm not distracted by a good podcast or music or whatever. So this is a very interesting turn for me, because I never in a million years thought that I would not be listening to anything when I'm out on photo walks. I do still carry the AirPods Pro with me every day, and what I do now is that I plug them in and I turn on their noise canceling. This is a great way for me to still be in the zone, be present, and just not be distracted by a great podcast or music. And that way I feel sometimes that when I'm left to my thoughts, I'm more creative when I'm doing street photography, because I'm observing a bit more, because I'm really thinking about people and the situation that is happening around me, because sometimes podcast and music can make you a little bit distracted. So still a great item for me to carry with me every day. Alright, so the last few items are also my everyday carry, and some of them are seasonal everyday carry. The first one I want to mention is this beautiful credit card holder that I carry with me every day, all year. And the reason I mention it, because I'm trying to be less digital and not use my phone as much. So I use my credit cards more, because basically everything is digital nowadays. So I really don't need this, but kind of nostalgia, I like it. And the few seasonal items are, of course, the umbrellas and rain covers, and also my sunglasses. This is my favorite brand. This is Ray-Bans. I have a few of them. I really like that brand. I really like to wear sunglasses when I'm outside. And last but not least, my panda mitts that you've probably seen that I've been wearing is for this colder season. I love those gloves. And yeah, I think that was it for my everyday carry items. I hope you enjoyed a little look into what I carry as my everyday carry on a daily basis. This has been a fun little behind the scenes for me. Let me know if this is something you'd like to see more of in the future. All right, take care. See you in the next one.